All right, hey guys, so video number 2, we're talking about personal development, and this is every video that we do, it kind of adds up from the last one. So I'm talking about mindset. Where's your mindset from video number 1? Are you all in? Or are you just tiptoeing? Now, here, I should have said this before, like there's nothing wrong with a discount coach, you guys. Like they help hold product, they help hold your placement, right? But they're not somebody who's gonna grow a business with you necessarily right now, okay? Keeping them in a challenge group, keeping them engaged in your community, those are the important things. But for now, you're looking for business builders. And if you're someone who is a professional, you've worked on personal development your whole life, then it's going to be easier for you to find other professionals. Let's say, for instance, let's say you are a CPA, okay? You're going to work with other CPAs that are around you, right? Other people that are very organized, those sort of things. But let's say you're an actor, okay? You're going to be working, you're going to know other actors, right? You're going to feel that you have different kind of niches and different personalities and different work styles and just different industries and everything. If you're a stay-at-home mom, maybe you know other stay-at-home moms, right? But the key is, let me tell you this, from what I've learned, those are great niches, those are great people to connect with. But if you want to truly build a business of leaders, and I'm not saying that one group is a better leader than the other, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you want true leaders, you want people who are go-getters, people who are going to inspire others, people who you really want on your team, you have to get better. You have to get better at being yourself. Here's what I mean. You have to get personal development better. You have to become a better communicator. You have to get better at looking in the camera and giving, a great 30-minute speech, or get better at communicating to people what your message is and what you want to accomplish, right? Now, here's the difference between me 7 years ago and me today. Talking about the Beachbody products, right? So it'd be like, this would be I think it'd be a great program for you. I know it's expensive, but if you want to do it, give me a shout out, right? Now it's, hey, look, this is an amazing program. I know it can help you because I know where you've been. I get it. I'm there. I was there with you, and let me help you get to that next point. See, there's difference in the confidence. There's difference in sharing how the products has worked for me. There's different communication there, and you attract new leaders, stronger leaders. Look, if you graded yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 as a leader in this business, let's say you give yourself a 5. Just hypothetically, you give yourself a 5, right? And you say, okay, I'm a 5 right now. Typically, you will not attract anyone over a 5 into your organization. You attract 4s, you'll attract 3s, you'll attract 2s, you'll attract 1s, right? But if you climb, they say you can climb about 3 spots, all right? If you climb 3 different spots in your leadership skill sets, okay? So that's big. 3 spots is huge. Let's say you just dive into personal development, you really grow yourself, and you climb to a 7 or an 8, right? Now you're attracting 8s, 7s, 6s. You're attracting a better crop of leaders, right? And I'm not saying, guys, look, I'm not saying better people. I'm not saying anything to that effect. I'm not putting anybody down. What I'm saying is you're attracting people who want to do this business. And the difference between, obviously those numbers there's no set number that means this. There's no set number that means that. Like, this is what a level 5 leader looks like. This is what a level 7 leader looks like. But I can tell you that if you climb 3 spots, even if you climb 2 spots, it can be the difference between a emerald business and a 4 or 5-star business, right? And that's the difference between, a couple $100 a month to $5,000 a month, whatever it is. You climb, you grow your influence, you grow who you are. You're going to attract people that are exactly like you, that are wanting to come up, that have passion and energy and those sort of things. That's why you do personal development, so that you start to see it work into your business. And the tricky thing about personal development is it's very hard to put a dollar sign on personal development until you get to those goals that you're accomplishing. For some people, they'll say, I'm going to work on personal development all year, and they do it. and they start to see their business grow, right? And here's the deal. When you're doing personal development, you guys, do not compare yourself to other people. Please do not do that. When you compare yourself to someone else, you always typically compare your weaknesses to their strengths, right? You're looking at this person, you're going, wow, look how far they are. What you don't know is what they went through to get to that point. Okay? So don't compare yourself to that person. You're your own unique place. You're in your own unique place, and you're your own unique person. So you cannot compare yourself to that person who may have went through 5 years through the mud before they figured out, okay, here's my niche, here's how my message, here's how I'm going to build social media, here's how I'm going to talk about challenge packs. They went through that for 5 years. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they went through it for 6 months. Who knows? It doesn't matter, right? They had to go through that process too of getting better. Some people, they get a little bit quicker than others. So don't beat yourself up. But understand, guys, you've got to understand the power of personal development and why it's so important. And that includes putting your money where your mouth is. Guys, I have spent so much money on myself. It is the one asset that you cannot lose, right? You can go and you can gain knowledge and you can, you go get a degree, right? You can't take that away from somebody. Now, yes, you have college loans, but you can go, become a stronger leader. You can become a stronger speaker, coach, mentor, whatever it is you're looking at becoming better at, you can become better, but you can't lose that once you get it. So when you spend money on yourself, you're increasing your skill sets. That is invaluable, you guys. I mean, it's so powerful when you get better at something that you're trying to get better at, right? Now, if you go spend money on, food, you consume it, it's gone. You had the experience, but it's gone, right? This never leaves you. Success, becoming a personal development success never leaves you. So I spent a lot of money. This year, I've spent more money on myself and personal development and going to seminars and going to trainings. At the very least, if you're looking at this video and you're saying, Nick, I just don't have the money to do that. At the very least, as a Beachbody coach, you need to go to Summit. Very least. Okay? You need to go to team events. So if your team has events in your area, you need to go to those. Okay? You need to go to at least 1 to 2 Super Saturdays, and I would say all of them. If you live far away and you can't make it to all of them, I would say at least 1 to 2 Super Saturdays. But here's the deal, you guys. I make this non-negotiable for myself. I make it to all Super Saturdays. No matter where it is. I've driven to Nebraska. I live in Iowa. I've driven to Nebraska, which is a 4-hour drive. I've driven to Minnesota, which is a 3.5-hour drive. I've driven to Chicago for them, which is almost a 6-hour drive. I've driven all over the country for Super Saturdays. I've driven all over the country for summit events. I mean, we have been all over for these events, been to Kansas and Kansas City and kind of just in my hub. You have to be willing to invest in yourself. You have to be willing to pay the price, you guys. And for those that you're watching this video and you say, Nick, I just can't afford it. Well, you're in the wrong mindset. You're in the wrong mindset. You've missed video number 1. You're not doing everything that it takes to be successful. For me, that very first summit, it was, oh wow, that was really expensive. I wasn't even an Emerald coach at my very first summit. So for me to want to go to my first summit, it was very, very hard because I didn't have the money. But here's what I did. I asked my mom for a ticket to the event out in LA. I believe it was out in LA. And it cost me whatever the plane fare was, half the plane fare. I used that as my Christmas present. So I said, okay, in the summer, I want to use my Christmas present. And so that's what I did. I asked for it. I used it as I found a way. Now, you may be saying, well, I can't, and here's the deal. You're saying, well, I can't do it as a Christmas present. You're already off the wrong mindset. You're not trying to figure out how to get to those places. Now, we're going to talk about, as you listen to this, why personal development is so important, how it's helped me, where your mindset needs to be. You have those 2 things in place. That's great, guys. Look, that's fantastic. You need those 2 things. But here's the deal. The next 2 videos, you need to take action. You need to take action every single day in your business because you can do these 2 things all day long and believe in yourself and believe you can achieve and believe that you're going to be great. But if you don't take any action, you're never going to get any closer to any of those goals. Trust me, I was there. I was the person who was like, I'm doing personal development every day. I'm growing. I'm getting good at this. And I never took action. I didn't take the amount of action that it would take to see success in this business. You need to take action every day. We're going to talk about that here in the next couple videos. One quick note before I take off. One thing that I did that's tangible that you guys can take away is I downloaded the app audible.com and I just loaded up with books. And everywhere I went in my car, I listened to audible.com. I turned off the music, I turned off the talk radios, I turned off the sports, I listened to audible.com. Everywhere I went, everywhere I go, I listened to it. So when I go on my runs, I listen to it. When I go for my walks with my wife and my family at night, I listen to audible.com. Okay? Well, sometimes, depends. So, guys, hopefully you feel the importance of these last two videos. Understanding that personal development is the key to your success and understanding that you have the right mindset. You got those two things down, okay? Two things. Now, let's go take some action. All right, guys, take care.